Hey guys, welcome back to the Lean In podcast. And oh, hang on a second.
What's going on?
Where are we? What? Hang on. Whoa! What?
This is crazy.
Oh, welcome. We're actually in.
I can slap Ryan when he says something dumb.
And I can punch Joel if he says anything. Welcome back to the Lean In podcast with Ryan. And
Joel.
Hey!
And Joel Cooper.
All right. Just this once, okay?
I wonder what we're talking about this week. Crazy.
Dune. We're going to be talking about Dune, not Star Wars.
I mean, you could suggest that June is...
Oh. Well,
we'll leave that for another time.
I think we can both agree that Lord of the Rings is a rip-off of World of Warcraft.
We're talking about Star Wars today. If it's not clear from the two posters on the screen, or if you're listening on Spotify, you're very confused right now. I keep forgetting about them. Our listeners
sorry,
on
Spotify.
audio. I forget about them because they are subordinate.
You guys pay money to listen to us? Oh, that's ridiculous. Think about that.
Can you imagine, like, if there was a way to not only listen to a podcast, but look at the people speaking? Also, just before we begin, I'd like to give a shout out to Liam Shuttleworth. Is my coffee etiquette good this time? Is this creeping you out?
What was the problem before?
He said I drink coffee weird. And he's like put GIFs in the comment section of me drinking coffee.
Really?
Yeah. And he's created like the first memes of this podcast, which is like, it's also very weird to be like I can look at you and not just like look at a screen. Like,
yeah.
This is not visual effects, guys. This is Ryan.
Unless we're just VFX artists.
Oh, I forgot you're sick. Get away from me.
I'm not.
He has hay fever, a made up sickness.
It's because friggin' I don't know. My family's from the Scottish Isles.
I don't know.
British
Is that
Isles.
true?
Well, my ancestry is.
So that's made up. Okay.
That's visual effects.
It's bad writing.
Yeah. So, should we tell? Oh, do you have a fact for us, Joel?
I actually do.
You
and
actually
it's
do.
not related to Star Wars. I know people are like so excited because my facts are linked to the topic that we're going to be talking about that week. Like it's anyway, but I don't. I failed you. I have failed you. I know. I was supposed to be better, but I failed you. So Call of Duty Vanguard, the new COD, it is 44% down on sales than last year's COD.
What was last year's COD? Cold War?
Cold War, yeah. So it has not done well.
Oh, boy.
So I thought that was interesting. That maybe if you screw over a fan base for enough years, something bad might happen to you as a company financially.
Yeah. And just to jump in with my fact, that's very much related to what Joel is talking about. Did you know that female kangaroos have 3 vaginas? 3 vaginas, folks. That's very much, I think of COD Vanguard when I think of a kangaroo's vagina. The third vagina, at least.
For everyone on the audio podcast, I'm just looking at Ryan. Very disappointed. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. You know what? Like, we've been trying to like uphold some kind of standard on this show. And every week Ryan finds a way to bring that standard just slightly lower. Not majorly lower.
Look, we all make mistakes.
Do we?
And I think you're one of them. So,
Get away from me. Don't touch me. All right, let's talk some Star Wars. They can't even see that you're touching my leg. So it's creepy in real life, but not creepy on the show. So yeah, we're in person. We're going to try to do this as much as possible.
Yes,
I hope
yes.
you like the production upgrade slightly. a lot.
Can you tell us? I don't have my glasses on, so I can't actually see what.
Oh, you're blind.
Yeah, I just somehow sniffed my way here.
Stop showing them that it's green screen. You keep doing actions that show it's green screen and that I don't have a cool lair.
This is your room.
I mean, I do have a cool lair, but it's not. It's not filmable.
This is your room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not my room though. The background is not my
What?
room. Anyway, okay. It's a visual effect. Okay. Let's talk
Anyways.
Star Wars. We're gonna go through some good, some bad, and I guess some otherwise. Some in the middling.
Yeah.
I was watching the Witcher trailer, like an old trailer for The Witcher, and he says like evil is evil, like high evil, low evil, middling. I guess that's where we are. We've got some middling stuff.
Was that for the TV show or?
No, the game. I'm playing the game series. So I'm like obsessed with the cinematics.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
I've come back to The Witcher. But where do you want to start?
So, I think we should actually start just to get them all out of the way.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Is the bad stuff that I feel like we can both kind of agree on.
Okay.
So Star Wars Episode 8 and 9.
What's wrong with episode 8 and 9? We're going to talk about it on this episode. Okay. Let's start with 8.
Yeah.
The last good script writer. That's what the movie should have been called. No.
Wait, what was it called even? Like
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Okay.
Yeah. And I guess Force Awakens could be called The Last Idea Disney Had.
True. Are we including spoilers in this, by the way? Is this a
Maybe-
thing where we include spoilers?
I guess, yeah, spoiler warning. But maybe we'll try to spoiler warning just before we actually like drop spoilers. We'll start at the surface level. Let's start. What did you think of Last Jedi?
You know what? I watched that for the first time probably a year or two after it released. And because I was like, all right, I've got to give it, like, I'm going to come in with an open mind. I've heard some people go like, yeah, it's directed really well and it's got some cool scenes in it. So I was like, all right, I'll give it a watch.
Are you sure?
Are you sure that I watched it or?
Are you sure you're a real fan?
Oh.
Jokes. That's a big old yoke.
No, yeah. I thought that it was kind of just
Amazing.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it was really ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
It's funny
because
because you transition from, like, we'll talk about in the good section, you transition from The Force Awakens or A New Hope V2.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was all right. And then you're like, oh, maybe Star Wars is back. And then you watch The Last Jedi and you're like, where did it all go wrong?
Yeah.
I just think back to all the Revenge of the Sith memes with like, you were the chosen one.
Yeah. Oh. I remember watching the trailer for The Last Jedi and being like, whoa, this is sick. Like,
Yeah, that all looks cool. All right. We're back. Technical issues. Ryan had to do a poo, essentially, is what happened.
I feel like OBS did a poo. Literally, it
What's OBS? Okay, so The Last Jedi was my favorite film of all 9. No. Okay, so let's...
Fun fact, Joel is a troll. He's the one...
What do you mean?
I feel like... Okay. I feel like you have like really good opinions about things and you purposefully hide them. And then just throw in just like...
I have no idea what you're talking
trash.
about. If you guys haven't seen Dune, don't watch it. It's terrible. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. Dune is good. That new 2021 movie. And we're going to be dropping a review soon. But back to Star Wars. Last Jedi. Yeah, we were hyped. You were reading theories. I was not hyped. Well, I was hyped for Star Wars, but when the trailers came out, I was like, oh yeah, cool.
True.
But then The Last Jedi kind of goes and it starts with, okay, cool. What's some cool things we could do with Star Wars and like really reinvent the universe and do something new?
Yeah.
Jokes. None of that was in that film. A little bit. There's a little bit.
Yeah.
But it also kind of undermines the original story. Trilogy.
Yeah. I reckon I'll just spoilers,
Spoilers.
if they actually, Rey and Kylo at the end, if they actually joined up at the end, I reckon, because I was actually like, okay, I can kind of follow along with the story there. And they, they were kind of teasing like, they, light and dark, and it's this grey area now. It's no longer black and white,
Which we're so used to, like in Star Wars.
Yeah,
dark side, bright side.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, good, finally we can have like a grey area Star Wars story. But then it just went into like, nah, we won't do that. We're not going to take a risk. And I was like, oh, what?
Also spoilers. We got to talk about elephant in the room. Leia just having the Force, and not only having the Force, which is like can be explained under canon, being amazing at the Force with no training and no supervision and no other characters.
Oh,
it was ridiculous to say the very least. Her moment of like Force. So that was poo.
Yeah, imagine so you could kind of just say like anybody could use that Force, like anybody in the Star Wars universe.
I'm surprised that we didn't get Finn just having the Force, Poe having the Force.
Wait a second.
Leia's daughter or granddaughter, whatever, just having the Force.
Yeah.
At this point, give Chewie the Force. Like,
it's flying through the sky. Yeah, and she I don't think there's any other Jedi that can survive in outer space, right?
We've never had I mean, I'm not like a comic guy, and I'm not I haven't watched right through the animated shows. But even like if you just go off the original trilogy and the prequels, that doesn't make any sense. The Jedi and the Sith as well aren't just they have limits, right?
Yeah,
they're not just
yeah.
I felt like I was watching a sci-fi movie just about space. We're like, is it Superman? Is she Superman? Can she just fly up there? And
and what was that plot? If I remember correctly, this is the same movie. It was that lady with the pink hair or whatever, and she was like, she was purposefully hiding.
Laura Dern plays her.
Yeah. It was like acted pretty well, but the plot of it, I was like, this is so contrived. It's so like put upon, and it also had like this message behind it.
And doesn't her character end up, spoilers, dying?
Yeah, she's like self-sacrifice.
And it was like she had this weird like, I'm not gonna entirely help the rebel force, and then just like, oh, I'm gonna help, and
like she was purposefully like withholding information and purposefully withhold. It was so annoying to watch.
Can we also like how a good concept in The Force Awakens? We had a stormtrooper switch sides. That was something that the sequels got right. That's a cool thing. But then they don't explore that through the trilogy at all.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, I need to tell Rey something. And then we never had that.
Oh,
he had something to tell Rey, and then it's like, oh, the Redditors will figure it out.
Really? I don't remember.
No, like that was like I assume was the attitude of like I don't think they ever actually answered like
they were just like that's a plot.
Well, there's like theories that he was going to say "I love you," and that was and
was a romance
from
there.
just my reaction to that. This is Star Wars, not a. If you're at least gonna like romance is great and it needs to be in stories, but at least do it well. That was just dumb. If that was what he was going to say, there's also theories that he was going to say, I have the Force, I'm Force sensitive, and I kind of I'm like, oh. Imagine if he was and could have used it to help.
Yeah. Friggin'. But okay. Didn't he meet up with people in the last movie that were also stormtroopers at one point, and they were like, but we.
Oh yeah, in that. Is that dark planet? I'm not. Look, to be honest,
That
I've
ocean
tried
planet.
to. Yeah. I've tried to scrub 8 and 9 from my memory.
It's too traumatic.
Well, they are.
Yeah, I did see that one in cinemas, the last one. I got all dressed up in the Darth Maul costume.
As in Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker, yeah. And...
Well, hold on. Before you tell that, what if we just go... I don't think there was really anything else about The Last Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
Spoilers. They freaking killed Luke Skywalker in that film, don't they?
They do, yeah.
So what they do is for a I think Kylo Ren's a bad character.
I reckon they could have developed him better.
He's two-dimensional as hell until he needs to not be.
Yeah,
and then he is immediately a crybaby. Yeah. Immediately.
Yeah.
And I love you, Ray. No, he doesn't say that, but he might as well.
They do kiss, don't they? In the last one, they do.
Like all good siblings do in the Star. No, they're not siblings. But, in the Star Wars universe, that's what people do, not in real life. So that was dumb that they would kill a household name and one of my favorite characters throughout the whole Star Wars saga. And it's not just we kill him. What, so they could escape from that and it was also, if Luke could have done this the whole time, right? He could have done this image of himself.
And wasn't it it was across planets, or was he on the same planet?
No, he was on a different planet, wasn't he?
He was on an entirely different planet. He could force Ghost across an entirely different planet while still being alive. He could have done so much, but he turns up at the weirdest point.
And that they don't really explain that it kills him. It's so crazy of a forced move that it takes he just dies.
Yeah, it's just I can't be
doesn't
stopped.
he Thanos snap? I can't remember how they do the animation of him disappearing, but he's a bit of a snap. And he's
yeah.
And it's oh, okay, cool. That's the way the hero of the original saga goes.
Yeah.
Also, I have a bone to pick. They kill Han Solo in the sequel trilogy. For what? For what? You don't go into anything really in development, and he shows up later as a Force ghost, unexplained.
Yeah.
Ryan, say something while I'd be sad over here.
Well, I reckon, what's his name? The actor.
For Harrison Ford.
Have you heard the stuff that he was saying about...
Oh, he just wanted to kill his character.
Yeah, he was I don't want to do this shit anymore,
For
man.
everyone doesn't know, he literally from the first Star Wars wanted his character killed off. The first, episode 4, he's we should kill off Han Solo. It's oh...
Because I think what he said is that he just found filming so tiring, and he was I've already got, I can see his point. He's got heaps of money already, and they're we'll pay you even more money if you be in this film. And he's all right, just kill me off in the first one. Come on, no more, please.
I think he's opposed to sequels as well. I think he's philosophically, he just doesn't do sequels, which is funny because he later comes back for Blade Runner.
True.
A little bit hypocritical, Harrison, but maybe that was a bigger paycheck.
Maybe.
Okay. Is there any? I mean, it's just kind of a dumb movie. There's some cool action for a bit there. Let's move to Rise of Skywalker. You were saying you dressed up Darth Maul.
Yes.
Who's in the sequel trilogy.
Yes, who's in Han Solo, if I remember correctly.
I was mocking you that
he's
not in the sequels, but you went to a sequel movie as Darth Maul.
Yeah, and I was
in Resistance.
Completely disappointed. Why wasn't he there?
Hold on. Were you also one of the people?
Worst movie ever. Darth Maul was not in the Rise of Skywalker.
Are you one of those people that went to Rise of Skywalker wanting to see Jar Jar as the because I heard that was in no joke. Theory. I have heard rumors that was actually one of the planned ways they were going to do the story. No, not a joke. That it was Jar Jar as the Palpatine role.
It's like, Jar Jar, you were the one in the mastermind behind it all.
Like to be the no emperor, Jar Jar was like the overlord of like Snape, and he was the most powerful Sith.
Okay, let's talk about dumb stuff first in the movie.
And then we can talk about some good stuff, because there's some good stuff in there.
Dumb stuff, I think. It's just like, oh, the Emperor, he's back somehow. That's all they do.
Do they? Because they don't explain it as him being a clone, do they? Because they explain Snoke is a clone.
Snoke is a clone of Emperor Palpatine.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then it's just, it just felt so like, at the start of the movie, it was just fairly like, they just explained it. There is like, Emperor Palpatine, he's back. And then that same character doesn't say anything for another 25, 30 minutes of the film. So
also, can we say that how frustrating to drop that in a trailer? That Palpatine was going to be in the movie?
Yeah.
Because they have like the Palpatine laugh at the end of the Rise of Skywalker trailer. And you're like, are you kidding?
Yeah. We can't kill this dude. So think about it. He's been involved in all of the Star Wars movies.
Every sequel.
Every
episode, yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yep. And... No, I was trying to think if he was involved. Oh, and technically Rogue One as well, because he...
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, what? They just can't let him go. I think it's because... Okay, why do you think that?
Iconic.
Iconic.
It's the same as Vader.
Yeah.
You're going to milk a great character. But that's where the film flops, because they bring him back and he's super one-dimensional and lame.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm going to be the...
Can we talk about his plan for a second in the bad? If you had this many ships ready to fight, why are you waiting?
Yeah, he could have just done it. He literally just could have just taken over the universe and nobody...
And what was his plan? To like bring like Rey there and like corrupt her. It's like, do that on your own time, dude.
Yeah.
Send the ships.
Yeah. He could have gone out, I reckon. He could have just gone out on his own and found her.
And it's the same thing as well with they again introduced, just like the original Star Wars, that there's a major fault in the bad guys' tech. There's one spot that if you do enough damage, you win. Okay. I feel like that's kind of all of the things we've already said about the sequels are bad about this movie. Like let's talk about something that was pretty cool. That they did. Rey had this like, oh no, I've got something more for the bad, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
The like she has this like Force ghost thing where she starts to kind of hear voices of this, and it's like all the Force. But missed opportunity. Why didn't they all appear? That would have been one of the most iconic shots in Star Wars to have Yoda there, Kenobi
I have
there.
something to add to that. Hayden Christensen, the guy who played Anakin Skywalker in the prequels, he was meant to show up, but they cut him out. They literally
Did they
cut
film
him
it?
out. They filmed everything, but they cut him out. And like, there's actually, you can find news articles of him, like Hayden Christensen just being like, "What the frick? Like, what? We recorded so much." Joel's had enough. He's gone.
That would have been so cool.
Yeah, and isn't it funny though? Just a quick side note. Isn't it funny in the prequels? Hayden Christensen got so much bad flack for his acting, but now, what was it? How many years later?
He's back for Kenobi. So that's kind of the
he's back for Kenobi, and everybody loves it.
I guess we'll talk about that under Revenge of the Sith, but he underrated. I actually thought he was great in. Yeah, look, he wasn't great early on in the prequels. Yeah, but look, some of that was writing that was a bit dodgy. Let's go bad again. I want to swear on this show, but I'm not going to do it. I really want to swear. How the actual is Rey a Palpatine? And
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it's kind of freak.
that they go. Oh, it frustrates me so much because like I feel like a Force Awakens. The cool thing that they do with that is this idea of like throughout Star Wars we've had. It matters who your parents are. The bloodlines matter.
Yeah.
Force travels through bloodlines, or it should through the. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's more complicated than that. But
Midichlorians.
the midichlorians. And that's cool that they were like, no, do you know what? This is kind of a Disney message that actually doesn't matter who you are, or where you come from. You can be a hero. And then they make her a Palpatine.
Yeah. So they like I think it's a back and forth. They just had no clear direction of where to take their characters. They were just like, okay, that one was kind of weird. Let's flop it the other way. And so she is someone important. And then
Is she? Is she important because she's a Palpatine, or is she?
Oh yeah.
Is she?
Well, I would
I
say
hate you, Disney.
Yeah. This is like a therapy sort of session.
Get it out, Joel. Get it out.
All right, Joel. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. You know. Trying to break down in tears on the podcast.
I can't talk about the sequels anymore. I'm done. That's it.
Okay.
We're done. We're moving on. Unless you have anything good to say, I'll sit here and sip my coffee while you say it about the sequels. Any final words on?
I reckon the CGI was sick. I reckon like the cinematography with. I can think of a few scenes in the entire sequel trilogy that were really cool. They were really cool to just watch. Like The Force Awakens is mwah. I think that's I watched that in cinemas and everybody was cheering when Rey was she flying the Millennium Falcon in Jakku, that sand planet.
Actually, now that I think about it, the VFX makes those movies good.
Yeah, like I reckon you can watch that completely stoned.
I'm sorry.
You just did a big 180, but that's all right.
I'm sorry. I know you were actually being serious, but I had to. We were just saying before, I'm such a troll.
Yeah. See, again, Joel has really good opinions and he's very informed about things, but then he subverts his own brain and just does a full-on flip on things.
My brain was busy that day. That's like yeah, there were some cool moments. Obviously the lightsaber effects and everything in it is Disney money.
Yeah.
So they're going to look amazing. If only more money and time was dedicated on the story that makes Star Wars special.
Yeah. And what makes Star Wars special, do you think? If we were to go into it really quick.
A hero's journey, as we always say. A hero's journey is important. But Star Wars is like so emotional. I feel like that's the core bit of what makes the original trilogy great, and the prequels. They're not let's go in space and have kind of a resistance story and throw in some little political anecdotes about gender and all those types of things. No, that's if you want to do that after you've written a good story, go ahead. But it's that kind of thing. They kind of miss the point. The wrestling with the Force and the dark side is like such an emotional thing.
Yes.
Each lightsaber fight is emotional. Except I didn't feel any emotion in any of the lightsaber fights in the sequels at all.
I can relate.
I was like, geez, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say, oh, that's a really cool scene. But in terms of the whole story, I don't give a crap.
Not so much.
Yeah. You know what? You know what's a really good...
Yeah.
Really good Star Wars media? The cinematics for the game Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, yeah, they are actually pretty...
You've seen them?
I've seen some of them, and they look pretty dope.
Yeah. The storytelling done in, 10... No, not even that. Like 8 minutes. 8 to 10 minutes. I got emotional in one of them. I was like, oh my gosh. I think it was... Thank you. I loved your hand on my shoulder. Just keep it there for the entirety of the podcast.
I'd rather not. Yeah, very like I feel the same when I watch the Witcher cinematics. Like,
yeah.
they do more storytelling than a lot of like Hollywood movies.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
as you say, they're 8 to 10 minute. But like Knights of the Old Republic, it's an MMO kind of role playing game, which means it sucks. So we can move on. They're boring.
We're just disenfranchised, like what, 80% of the male population. What?
FPS rules, boys.
Split goat.
Let's talk. I mean, we've kind of talked about the original trilogy. They're amazing. We love them. Emotional sword fight, lightsaber fights. Great story. Great twist in Vader being Luke's father. Spoilers if you have not seen Empire Strikes Back after like how many years?
What?
40 years.
Yeah, are you serious?
No, you couldn't do. That's impossible. Sorry if you had to listen to that.
It's like you've had this been building up for years, and you finally feel safe enough.
It's in person. It can be safe. It's because I know my friend Ryan's here to give me emotional support.
It's all right, man. It's all right.
Whoa, how did we do that visual effect? You're at home. Crazy. What made you love the original Star Wars 4, 5, 6?
Yeah, classic hero's journey stuff. And that it's almost like just the random success stories that you hear. Like, say, Lord of the Rings, for example. Like, George Lucas just went up to the company. Who was it? That
his company?
Did he make a company or?
Yeah, it's called Lucasfilm.
Yeah, Lucasfilm.
But did Lucasfilm make the first one? I don't know.
I don't know. And it was actually just meant to be like a one-off Star Wars.
And it was
thing.
bad. Like, have you seen the original cut stuff?
Oh no.
Oh, we should react to that later. There is like up online original cut of the first like edit.
Yeah.
And there's heaps of stuff they cut from the final film. And it's bad. Like it's bad.
Wow.
The start of the movie's bad. But it's the risk, right? He took a risk.
Yeah, major risk, even for the production company, which I don't think any company will do nowadays because they're boring and
certainly
dumb
not Disney
and money focused. But I sound like I have a real gripe against. I don't.
I do. I hate Disney.
Oh, true. But they do make good stuff as well. Like it's such like
no.
I'm in an abusive relationship
they
with Disney.
don't.
I'm in an abusive relationship with Disney. They're both. I can see that they're doing really bad, but they're also doing really good in stuff.
Like what?
I think some of the Marvel stuff that has come out is pretty good. Like we would never have gotten WandaVision.
I would argue.
And The Mandalorian.
I would argue that those are good because of the lead filmmakers in them that aren't just Disney people.
That is true.
Like
Disney is financing
Favreau
them. They're financing it, the whole thing.
So they're smart at where they put their money, except obviously for the sequels.
Yeah.
Everyone who worked on those films, I hate you. No, it's not true. That was very
I love the backpedaling immediately. It's like we're afraid of Disney already. Crap, Disney's gonna
we're a tiny podcast and we're already scared of Disney coming in here and being like, what did you say about it? But yeah, magical films. Why don't we talk the good as well?
The originals, yes.
Is there anything else we should mention about the originals? They were great.
Yeah, like they're just
revolutionary filmmaking, VFX,
you can
sound,
easily sit down,
music,
get some popcorn, watch it,
and experience satisfaction you've never experienced in any aspect of your life.
They're
that good of films. I don't care.
You'll transcend your own being,
yes,
and connect fully with the characters. Yes. Every character, you will feel every emotion.
No, it's not true.
Oh,
not Leia.
Oh, well, I think we'll be good at
she frustrates me in the original trilogy, to be honest.
Oh yeah, what? How come? Is she just kind of like a?
I mean, maybe it's a product of we didn't really get strong female leads back then.
Was it like all the time, or
that, and just being like an annoying, like it wasn't her, like Carrie Fisher. Like the lines they gave her were just they were a little bit indicative of the time the film was made.
Yeah.
But maybe that's what they did wrong with the sequels. They went, let's make a very strong female
Also, rest
lead.
in peace as well. For Carrie
Oh
Fisher.
yeah, rest in peace, of course.
Mm.
I'm gonna go there. Do you think the sequels are disrespectful to her character and her performance in the original trilogy?
Ooh.
The way they treat Leia and Luke and Han?
When did these come out again?
The sequels.
The original, sorry. Was it 1960? No.
70s. 70. I think 75 is the original Star Wars.
Oh, I have to double check that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
it
it's
is.
75.
It's 75.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Like, and plus, like I think if you watch some old films, then you watch it and be like, oh, frick me, like there's some pretty like sexist undertones in a lot of this stuff.
Oh no, I
Racist
meant like,
stuff.
you're definitely gonna see
like
that.
the stereotype, like stereotypical.
No, I mean
stuff,
like how they treated the sequel movies. Is that disrespectful to the original?
Oh,
There's definitely like, of course, if you go watch a 70s or 80s movie and you're like a social analyst or like a feminist scholar, you're going to see a bunch of, stuff like that. So that's interesting because a lot of that, I'm sure, would have been very different to how we have it today.
Yeah.
And how the acting space is. But do you think the writing... Yeah, it's probably the writing. Is the writing of the sequels disrespectful to the original trilogy?
Like...
It's big. I know it's big.
Yeah, like, it's not... and what do you mean by that? Is it like...
Does it destroy the legacy?
Oh, that they are...
Yeah, because what we're talking... It's still the Skywalker saga. Like, is it... as a tack on to what was a complete 6 films, we did not need another 3.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, true. Because it's like, they wrapped up the story and it was all good.
We're celebrating in Ewok Town.
Yeah, Ewok Town. Yeah, I feel the
Endor.
Endor. Endor. There we go. Ewok Town.
We're partying around. We're banging stormtrooper helmets. I feel like that's it. And we've already had full circle stories for Luke, Han, and Leia.
And then it's like, I guess it might have, like, it spurred my curiosity on, like, the sequel trilogy of just like, what happens after, that is destroyed. But then it just turns out the First Order is here.
But we also, like, get that in The Mandalorian. You get to see what the world's like after the Empire.
Yeah, and like this, they're kind of like destroyed and disbanded, and there's only little parties left.
Yeah. Look, maybe that's a big claim, but I feel like they were unnecessary, and for me, Rey as a character is a piss poor character as well. So to carry a franchise, and it's nothing to do with Daisy Ridley. I rate her as an actress very highly. But when you give a character a dumb story arc and dumb things to say, and make her a okay, we need to stop talking about the Palpatine thing, but it really is still getting to me.
Okay, I feel like we need to get to more. Okay, let's go to the stuff.
Okay.
So we wrote down here, Force Awakens.
Yep, and we've talked about that.
We've talked about
There's
that.
some good things in New Hope V2. What else have you got?
Yep. Han Solo.
What's that called?
Solo, a Star Wars story.
Star Wars story.
Yeah. And Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. So 2 of the prequels, even though I think other people would put them bad.
No, we rate them.
We think they're okay.
The first 2 are okay. The first one is not good in terms of the first hour and a half.
Yeah.
And the Jar Jar, bang. But we get Darth Maul. We get a great lightsaber fight towards the end. Although we do get some cool scenes in which the Force is like guiding Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan through the to fight droids and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
And that looks cool and it's great. And we get that story and we get introduced to Anakin as a boy.
See, that was cool.
Pod racing.
Yeah, and pod racing. Yeah, I think that was cool to be like, okay, look how, pod racing.
Sorry.
I thought that was really cool. They started
was.
off with the little young innocent boy that will turn into this freaking Darth Vader.
The cool poster where it's like Anakin standing near a sand igloo and his shadow is Vader.
Ooh.
There's a really cool poster out there for that.
Was that for the film or was that just the?
I don't know. I don't know if it came out originally because when these movies came out when I was like 4.
Yeah.
It's like early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it was, yeah.
Attack of the Clones. Again, some good parts, some not so good parts. We get Dooku versus Yoda in Attack of the Clones, don't we?
Yes,
So that's cool.
And
What else do we get?
and Anakin as well.
Anakin fighting Dooku.
I think it was Anakin. Yeah, initially,
Wait,
and then
spoilers. Does he kill Dooku in Attack of the Clones, or does he kill him in
That's the
Revenge of the
third
Sith?
one. That's the third one.
But isn't there
which
a
we'll get to.
fight against Dooku in, or does he?
Yeah. Remember in that hangar?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There was some very cool moments, great lightsaber fights, some great miniature work, some great CG stuff.
Oh, the Battle of Geonosis.
Oh,
That is sick. That made me so. And when Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 were coming out, the original ones on PS2 and even PC or Xbox, whatever.
that's my happy place. Star Wars Battlefront 2, just load up any map.
Yeah, and I
So
remember
cool.
watching only that last part of the film as a kid, and then I'd skip to it just to the battle and be like, oh, and then just go play Star Wars Battlefront just to get more dopamine rushing in there, which I didn't understand.
Yeah, a little child being like, hey, the dopamine.
Yeah, was hooked on it.
There's not, but it's overall it's in the okay, but in the good, Revenge of the Sith, fantastic. Anyone who says it isn't, please right now unsubscribe. No, I'm kidding.
Soundtrack. Mwah.
Hey,
I
fight
can kiss it.
choreography between Anakin and Kenobi. Master
yes.
Kenobi. Oh, Order 66 we get in that film.
Yeah.
Oh, I need an Order 66 movie. Just on Order 66.
Yeah, I would like, or maybe even at least like a 30-minute thing. I feel
No.
like you would like a whole full-on
No, but
movie.
do you know what I would love if it was like a Force Unleashed movie where the storyline is that Vader's apprentice that's in those games is hunting down, because that's the story in that game, isn't it? In the
Ooh.
second one, he's hunting down Jedi that are like spread across the galaxy.
Yeah,
Starkiller is.
I think it's the first one.
That would be such a dope movie.
Yes,
and
yeah.
it would be told from the Sith's perspective, which we haven't had really anything told from the Sith's perspective.
Yeah.
Have we? No.
Yeah.
Maybe some of the games.
Understanding evil, pretty much. I would love a story like that in Star Wars to understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unlimited power.
Or to see, I mean, we kind of did see Anakin, but we kind of...
Sorry.
It's okay, Joel. It's all right.
Okay,
Just keep on releasing. Keep on.
Anakin.
Yeah, well, Anakin.
I love Anakin
I
Skywalker.
don't like sand.
Are you ready for Anakin
porous
to appear in
Rough, and it gets everywhere.
Kenobi?
Yes, I am actually pretty keen.
But it's weird. I saw some things rumored that Anakin might appear in Kenobi.
Yeah.
But how? Flashbacks, you think?
We were talking about this earlier. I reckon flashbacks.
That'd be
Flashbacks,
interesting.
and we'll see maybe some disagreements they used to have, or like some really good moments they had. And I reckon we might even see them fighting droids at one point. CIS.
Oh, CSI, I love that show.
Who
Who are you?
They'll be fighting the crime scene investigators in the upcoming Kenobi series. Watch now on Disney Plus.
Well, I'm keen for that. In the good, we got to mention Mandalorian.
Yes.
What a
definitely.
revolutionary show.
Both seasons. Awesome.
Second season, I would argue, is even better than the first season.
Yeah.
Spoilers, if you haven't seen the second season, it's the friggin' Mandalorian. I don't know where you've been. Everyone who has.
We are shaming you right now. Go watch it.
So if you haven't seen season 2, click away now of the Mandalorian.
Strangle
season 2.
yourself.
No, please don't do that. Please, Ryan. We get Return of Boba Fett. Boba
Boba?
Fett. in the Mandalorian season 2, which is awesome. Like, it's not just like, hey, we'll have a quick cameo. It's like, no, Tamara Morrison, you will reprise your role.
Yeah, and I love his aesthetic now. You know, he's
like rustic.
He's real rustic and like, yeah, he's battered and bruised.
Sexy.
And that's where I was going.
It's very sexy. And we got his show coming, his own show. I saw the trailer. You haven't seen the trailer, have you?
I haven't seen the trailer.
It looks interesting. We'll have to see where it goes. You never really know with trailers these days because the product could be garbage.
Yeah.
Actually, reminder between you and I, you need to log in tomorrow at some point with me.
Yes.
And we need to avoid spoilers all tomorrow. And you and I are going to react to the new Spider-Man trailer because it drops tomorrow.
Ooh, that is true.
So you're going to have to avoid everything.
Oh, damn it. Okay. What time? Do we know?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, whatever.
I'll text you when I figure it out. But yeah, anyway, back to this. We'll do a react on the YouTube channel. Okay, Mandalorian's great. Pedro Pascal. We get to see spoilers for season 2. We get to see Luke Skywalker return. I hope we get maybe some Jedi training for Grogu in the 3rd season, even if we get a little bit of more Skywalker, or will they just ignore that for now?
Or do you reckon? Oh, you know what?
Get on with it.
Little theory.
$1 million.
Little theory time here. Kenobi might train Grogu.
How?
Because they're both in the same.
Dead.
No, but not at that time.
Yeah. It's after the Empire.
Oh, crap, yeah.
As a Force ghost. Yeah, be so confused. But maybe they could do right what Rise of Skywalker didn't and have some Force ghosts and give us the nostalgia we deserve.
Yeah. We deserve.
No, I'm not joking, though.
That would be pretty cool.
I will destroy you and your family. So in the okay category, what else? Do we have anything else in the okay? Oh, in the good, Rogue One. If you haven't seen Rogue One and you're a Star Wars fan, you should watch it. It feels like Star Wars 3.5.
I reckon. The last sequence, that was mint. I was like, okay, they know what Star Wars is and they love it. They froth it.
I rate that so highly.
I loved it. They were just like, oh, they need help. All right, stuff it. We'll send the fleet. And then we
got a Dunkirk moment where it's like everyone get their old ships and come out and which they did in a different film, didn't they? And it was dumb.
Which
was
one?
it in the sequels? Doesn't Lando come back with all these ships in the sequels and it's super dumb?
Is it number 9?
Yeah,
at the very end.
Yeah, it's super dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, come and help us fight the tens of thousands of Star Destroyers that the Emperor has raised, and there'll be no casualties. It'll be fine. Like, how did you get anybody to come and fight? It's the dumb. Anyway, sorry. Let's go to the bad. Were we in the bad? Have we done the bad?
We've done the bad.
We've done the bad. In the okay as well. Have we got anything else?
Yeah, we kind of Force Awakens, Han Solo.
Still got some time. What about we talk non-movies now? We talked to Mando. Oh, we're excited for Kenobi when it comes out. Bless your face. Yeah, you're supposed to not sneeze. Bless you again.
Make a wish.
That felt like I would like to have Kenobi downloaded to my computer right now.
Wish.
Okay. Kenobi's going to be coming out in 2022 sometime. We're excited.
Yeah.
Mando season 3 is not for it hasn't even filmed yet.
Yes, yeah.
Because they're filming the Boba Fett and it's coming out in December.
What about Ahsoka?
I don't know where that fits in the production schedule because I think it might actually be after Mando season 3.
Is it?
Because it's not confirmed. Nothing is confirmed that. I looked this up the other day because I was like, "Is anyone actually know what's going on?" No.
Really?
There's nothing.
Man.
But
she was just a real quick. She was just such a good character, so well thought and well developed out in Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Which you haven't seen. Which I'd.
Shaming me. It's fine. No, it's fine.
Just stop existing.
He hasn't seen Jaws.
I have seen Jaws. I haven't seen Jaws 2.
No. What's the thing you haven't seen? Alien. He hasn't seen Alien.
Yeah.
I'll destroy his soul.
Destroys.
Yeah, Ahsoka would be a cool show. Rosario Dawson, whatever her name
think so.
is.
Yeah.
She was good in Mando.
Yeah.
So hopefully she reprises that role and does well there.
Yep.
We'll talk quickly. Some games because we're sick gamers. And we're so attractive and
What was the
intelligent.
first Star Wars game that you played?
Wow.
Lego?
Honestly, it might have been Lego.
Lego Star Wars.
And the complete saga was not out then.
Yeah, was it?
I didn't have it. I didn't own it. So I had the original trilogy Lego.
Yeah.
And then I upgraded, and you could use your save.
Oh yeah.
So you upgraded to the complete saga, and you got to play the complete saga. Imagine if there were only 6 films.
Yeah, there were the people that made all the marketing and everything that made the complete saga, and then like what 5-10 years down the track, they just see number 7 coming out. They're like, oh, he just spent so much just to do the complete saga. Disney. Okay. Anyways,
Lego games were great. You guys played through all of your favorite moments and it had its own quirks and little story beats and things that went in. So they're great.
Did you just in the cafe?
Mm.
Did you just like? I remember running around just killing everybody.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then like they would turn on you, and you have to like
100%.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Are you? But I'm also that person that in like Cyberpunk or GTA or whatever. You just when you get a bit bored of story, you shoot someone and see what happens.
Yeah, and then just
see how the code works.
Chaos. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great, and unlocking all your characters throughout the series. Could you play Jar Jar Binks? I can't remember. I hope not.
Oh, probably no. I don't think so.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. The evil mastermind behind it.
I played as Kenobi a lot.
Kenobi. Yeah.
And Luke. And Vader.
I play as
maybe Boba.
Anakin and
Anakin.
I'm pretty sure you could play as the one who enslaved his mum. I'll play as that guy.
I love that storyline.
That's my favorite storyline out of all
actually
the Star
is my
Wars.
favorite storyline. No, we're also talking like PlayStation 2 games. Star Wars Battlefront,
which we
2.
mentioned earlier. That's sick.
Like, and I never even played those games online.
Yeah, me neither. I just did instant action all the time.
It's mostly because
and Galactic, whatever it was.
Galactic Conquest.
Where
you would literally progress through planets and acquire them for the great Empire. Empire underrated. They're the good guys. No.
They brought peace. Freedom.
Peace through colonization. I'm joking. They are the bad guys. Some of them. What else we got in the game sphere? Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. And the second one.
Those are cool.
I played a bit of them.
Yeah, I played the second one, and I watched someone play the first one.
Isn't that fascinating? Sorry, I need to jump on that.
Yes.
Isn't it interesting that I used to watch a lot of playthroughs too.
Yeah.
Like a Let's Play, but that kind of content is kind of dead these days.
Yeah, I don't think I think it's just the attention span, and I'm guilty of it too. Like I just can't sit for. And plus, we've got other stuff going on. We're not kids anymore, unless. How old are you?
Yeah, I've got so much on at the moment. Seriously,
life.
No, seriously, I've got like so much on my plate. So.
I love how you just.
What are you talking about? And then EA remade
Star Wars
Battlefront.
Yeah.
The first one I never played. I heard it was terrible.
I played it.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the trailer and being like, oh, yes, this looks
EA
sick.
Money, DICE. Did DICE do it?
DICE did it.
Yeah. So you're getting Battlefield vibes in there.
Yeah, so I was like, and I had played Battlefield 4, I think. And yeah, so I was like, and Battlefield 3 and Bad Company 2. So I was like, yes, these guys have it. This is like.
What's Bad Company 2?
Huh?
No, I'm kidding. I played through that. It was great. Amazing.
Yeah, and then I played it, and it was so cool for probably the first hour.
Like anything in life.
Yeah, like.
Was it just repetitive, or was it?
It was very repetitive.
Wasn't there loot boxes as well?
Loot boxes and
Call of Duty Vanguard, anyone?
And the thing was, you could tell when someone had paid more money because they were just better at you in the.
Yeah, but that's a fair system of doing multiplayer. You pay more, you are better. Unlimited power if you tap your card.
It's like racist Emperor Palpatine.
What do you mean?
It just sounds like it sounds. Maybe that's my racist mind. I don't know. Okay? Comment if you heard something else there. Like
I'll have
Russell
to re-listen to those. Am I being offensive to Palpatine listeners out there? Battlefront 2 came out. It was a flop. The EA one, I mean.
Yeah. Initially.
But it's good now. I own it. I actually bought it, like with money.
Oh, true. I got it for free. I didn't pirate. I literally, it was
Are
like...
you on EA? Oh, because it was
Epic.
free on Epic.
Yeah.
So I bought it about a week before it came out free on Epic. But I only paid like $20 because the price had fallen crazy.
True.
But they fixed the game, and I played it with our friend Matt.
Oh, true.
We play on PC. It was really fun. I should play more of it. I heard the campaign was okay.
Yeah. I played a couple of missions and it was alright.
Yeah. I have to say this. It's got nothing to do with Star Wars, but I got really tilted because I was watching the script writers for Vanguard, which is ironic because you should not have script writers for a video game.
Wait. You were watching the script writers?
Like interviewing.
Okay.
And they've said, we made these cool characters in Call of Duty Vanguard and we want to live through these characters, some real human characters.
Yeah.
Because when you think about it, there are no iconic characters in the Call of Duty franchise.
Captain Price.
Ghost. Soap.
Ghost. Yeah.
Have these people not played any of the games?
What? Did they actually say that?
Yeah, no joke.
What?
Which means they are not up to date with the IP in which they write for, which is crazy.
Goodness.
But anyway, that really struck me the wrong way. Yeah, Battlefront 2 is great. Force Unleashed, Lego games. You really liked Knights of the Old Republic.
Yes.
Which is getting remade, Ryan.
It's getting remade. And I was saying to you before the podcast, or was it I don't know. But I was saying, like, I hope they just, like, actually add some stuff. I recently played through the whole thing. And really good game, really cool twist at the end and blah, blah, blah. But, it does feel... I could rush through it in probably 5 hours, like just
Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic.
What?
It's a quite a bare minimum thing,
No
but
way.
people usually just do the side stuff as well.
I don't. In any game.
Really, you rush to the main?
Pretty much. Depends. At the moment, I'm playing through The Witcher 2. Bless your face. And I am playing The Witcher 2 merely to catch myself up on the lore before replaying The Witcher 3, which I never finished. So I want to start again and replay through.
Yeah.
But I'm literally like, could you help me, good man? No, main quest, running.
Never mind. Sorry.
I'm busy that day.
And it's
main
like,
quest all the
actually
way.
feels like such a major thing as well. Like, you will help out this faction and the people won't be starving anymore.
I don't care, man.
So I got a bang.
I literally, there was like, please escort these soldiers through the drowners monsters to get them back to the camp. And once they were looking in trouble, I was like, yeah, they'll be all right. And then they died and I just left.
Did you loot them?
No, I should. I should have gone back for the loot. But you don't need loot if you're doing the main quest. All of that is irrelevant until you run into something where it's like, please be level 8 to do this. And I'm like, I'm level 3.
Did you ever play Fable?
No.
Ooh.
No.
I feel like you...
I have, once again, just for the record, MMOs or RPGs are garbage.
So let me play The Witcher 2 real quick. As you're playing The Witcher 2, are
That's
you
a
just
first-person shooter. I can't even anymore. I think we've talked everything we possibly can Star Wars, and we're just running up on time here. So,
anyways, Dune.
which it is a Star Wars ripoff and should not be watched by anyone. All right, we're going to review
Also, that's
Dune.
the thing. I just keep on looking over at some points.
There's a picture of Ryan on my screen over there that should not be there. And I've only just noticed it. It's been there this whole time. Anyway, it's so good to do the podcast in person. It's good to have you and have an excuse to hang out with my friend Ryan, who I really respect his opinion on everything except June.
That's the basis of our friendship.
Oh, June, is it?
We can't be friends if we don't agree on June.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, thanks for doing the podcast. We're going to try to do more in person when we can. And I hope you guys enjoy the production quality. And we'll catch you later. Any final words, Ryan?
Just don't.
June is a terrible movie.
Oh!